Right, I want you to treat me as a pupil at the partly trained stage. I have had some lessons with another instructor, Fred, who couldn't make it today. He has got the same car as you, so I am familiar with the controls of the Golf. He said today we were going to do emerging, and you call it T-junctions, left and right.
Okay, yes.
Yeah?
Yep.
Any questions on the word picture?
Nope, that's fine.
Yeah. So, I'll leave you to meet and Graydon.
Okay,
Yeah.
alrighty. Well, I'm Simon. How you doing?
Tony.
Nice to meet you, Tony.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
How you doing, all right?
Yeah, a bit nervous, but...
Jolly good. Well, that's all right. So what actually have you done up to now with Fred?
Yeah, I'd actually come at that from a slightly different angle.
And so I've spoken to him, and
Yeah,
he
spoke to
said
him
you've
last
done.
night.
Yeah.
And what would he have told you I've done?
He said you've done turning left and right, you've
He
done
has, yeah.
moving off, and you've done the controls.
Yeah, so I've done the relation you want to make to the emerges, that I've done the
Turning left and right. Okay.
last week, yeah?
Yeah.
So you
Okay.
go from there.
All right. Yeah. So I've spoken to Fred. I spoke to Fred last night.
Oh, yeah.
He said he was very pleased with the way you're going so far,
All right.
and that you've done sorry, I beg your pardon. You've done turning left and right.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, last week. We did
Okay, that was brilliant. And so the important thing about that, do you remember the important stages of that? MSPSL?
No, there's a picture that might be able to...
Yeah, let me take you through it then, and we can go from there. So we want to do number 8. Okay. So we're going to do emerging left and right.
All right, yeah.
And as you see here, we're going to use the MSPSL. Do you
All right.
remember that from doing your turning left and right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, good. So, if you can imagine, this is an emerge left.
Yeah.
So we've got a T-junction.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about, as we're going around, about how we can identify. Can you imagine how you can identify this as you come up to it?
I've never taken any notice of it.
No. Okay. Well, we could see houses across here as we're coming along the road. So our road probably will be blocked ahead by houses, hedges, trees, something like that, and maybe vehicles going across left and right in front of us. So it's a good way to identify it in advance. And then as you come up to it, the first thing you're going to do is use your mirror. Okay. And you're going to use centre mirror.
Yeah, so just come out a roll a minute.
Yep.
As you spoke to Fred last night, and you found out that I'd done left and right hand turns last
Yeah.
week,
Yeah.
could you not just kind of just prompt me a little bit and see, you know, as I was approaching a left turn last week, what mirrors did I
you do?
check?
Yeah, okay, yes. Okay, so we're going to deal with we've done the identification. So now as we're approaching, this is a left emerge then.
Yeah.
Do you remember with your left turns you did with Fred last week, which mirror did you use, or mirrors, as you approached a left turn?
Left hand one and the middle one.
Okay, in that order?
Oh no, it was inside out.
Inside out, perfect. Okay, so we're going to do exactly the same again. So as you come up here, we're doing a left emerge.
Yeah.
So inside out, middle and left again. And do you remember what you're looking for in the middle one?
Oh, that's the true picture one, isn't it?
That's it, perfect. The left-hand one we're looking for...
Oh, we kept banging on about bikes.
Bikes, okay. And do you know why that's important to look for bikes?
It's probably because when I turned, I nearly hit one.
Oh, did you? Okay. So you're going to remember that mirror, aren't you? Okay, good. All right, so we're looking out for things that may be coming up on this left-hand side. So we do the mirror first, and then we're going to signal.
Yeah.
So you're okay with the signalling and the way that goes with the direction of the steering wheel as you turn?
I think so.
Yeah. So we're going to signal left, coming up here for a left emerge, and then the position in the road. Do you know what position in the road you kept for your turning left last week?
Yeah, I signalled. I think he said I had to count the cars back.
Yes. So how the distance from the junction? Do you mean how far away would you count? Would you do it from the junction? The signal.
Yeah, 6 or 7.
Always.
No, there was a couple of occasions where I had to leave it late.
And do you remember why that was?
There was a road beforehand.
Absolutely. And why, if you had signalled back here and there was a road here, what could that tell other people?
There was a car waiting to come out, and Bob said, Fred said he might pull that in front of me.
Exactly, because they might think you're turning that early one. Very good. So there's some times that you leave it, but if there's nothing else around, then you would do it that 6 to 7 car lengths ahead. Brilliant. Then the positioning, as you're coming up to it, do you remember the positioning you used for...
I kept a normal position.
Did you?
Yeah.
For turning left?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So that's about how far out from the curb?
About a metre, I think.
And do you have any reference points for that? Did Fred talk about reference points?
I've got a reference point for that.
And do you know where that was? Where did the curb cut into the car?
It came in about there.
Yeah? Okay, so we can use exactly those same points as we're coming up here.
Yeah.
And then, so that'll be the position. And then you cover the brake as you approach here with your right foot, just to start to control the speed. And then we want to be slowing down and looking nice and early. If the junction, we have two types. There's an open junction, which is where you can see quite clearly both ways as you approach the junction. And then a closed one, this gives an example here, where your view may be restricted by hedges or houses or even other vehicles.
Right.
If it's closed, you will probably need to treat it as a stop junction. So come up to it very gently and stop and have a good look. All right, but we can talk more about that as we come to that. In this instance here, this is an open junction. So as you come up to it, your speed will be about 5 miles an hour approaching it, and you can look. Which way would you look here? Okay, so as we come up here, we'd look right and left and right again. And the reason for that is we're going to be turning out to the left. We want to see if there's any traffic here because, do you remember from your discussions with Fred or your driving, what we mustn't do to this vehicle?
I've never done a merging.
We mustn't make it slow, stop or swerve by our manoeuvre. So that's what we're looking for here. And if there's a vehicle coming, you can use a rule to judge whether or not it's safe to pull out, which is, would you have time to walk from one side of the pavement to the other and back again before that vehicle comes along here? Okay, if you've got time to walk there and back, you've got time to pull out and build up your speed without causing any problems to this car here. Okay, it's also important to look left as you come up to this junction, because in this instance here you can see this would be a parked car here. So this vehicle is going to be coming around the parked car, so he's going to be coming right into your path here. So we must look obviously right for the vehicles we're going to be pulling into their path, I should say, and left to see if there's any obstructions or potential obstructions. Okay, as you come up here. So this is the look part of it. And then if we've done that, we've assessed whether or not it's clear to pull out, then we can carry on round the junction. And once you round, you straighten the wheel up, stay in the gear you've gone round the corner in, straighten the wheel to complete the manoeuvre, then change up to the next gear as you accelerate. And then new road, new mirrors. Did Fred talk to you about new road, new mirrors?
Oh, we did, yeah.
Yeah. And which mirrors do you use for that?
Oh, I think that was the middle and right one.
And do you understand why it's the middle and right?
Oh, yeah. True picture and anybody overtaking me.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Good. Okay. So there's... that's the basic emerging left. Now, as we said here, this is a closed junction, so you can see if your view is restricted here, you need to come right up to the junction and probably stop so that you can have a good look. And there are even times which, hopefully we'll find one when we're out today, that there may be parked vehicles here or here, and even when you're at the junction, you can't see. So you then do something called peeping and creeping, where you would lean your body forward, look round the vehicles and just creep the car forward gently until you can see that it's safe to go. Okay? And did you, what have you done? No, okay. We will also pick up a reference point for these lines so that you know where to stop. Because if you allow the car to go too far across the line, have we got a, well, if it's stopped at this line, oh, let's use this one, this line here. If the car's stopped over it, okay, yeah, I beg your pardon, it's the one, isn't it? Sorry. If the car stops over the line, you can see how it would make this car swerve around you. And remember, that's what we're trying to avoid. So it's dangerous
I'm not going to stop
that.
at the junctions to begin with if they're open. I'm just going to keep moving.
No, we'll assess the junction as we come up to it, but an open junction allows you to make those, to look earlier. So it may be, if you're coming up here on an open junction and you can see it's clear both ways and it's safe to go, then you can carry on round, so you wouldn't need to stop at a give-way junction. And a give-way junction is denoted by a broken double line like this, or sometimes on a smaller road it will be a broken single line.
Right, so I'll just come out a roll there for
Yeah.
a minute, help you. On the initial ones, you're really going to have to stop.
Stop them every time.
Closed, yeah.
Right, okay.
For the simple reason is that I need these reference points.
Yeah,
now.
okay, yeah, all right, okay.
Um,
Okay, so the initial ones we're going to do that with anyway. So we're going to treat them all as stop junctions to start with.
Initially, yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah. So we're going to come up. So the identification, as I say, give way. You probably remember you've done your theory, haven't you? Didn't Fred say?
No, studying for it.
You're studying for it. Okay. So a give way line is a double broken line here, or sometimes it would be shown like this as a single broken line.
All right.
Okay. A stop junction. Do we have a picture of a stop junction? Yeah. Is a solid line like this.
Yeah.
And it will usually say stop in front of it, and you'll also have a sign an octagonal red sign with stop on it. Giveaway junction will have a triangular sign with giveaway on it, and usually, but not always, we'll have a triangle in the road as well, just to show the difference. So you must stop at a solid line like this, at a stop junction. These you can give way if it's clear, but initially, as we go around now while we're looking for them, we're just going to stop and treat them all as a stop junction. The reason for that is what I want to do is when we're in the right position so that we're not overhanging the line, because we don't want to cause this to slow stop or swerve, we're going to pick up a reference point, which may well be like this. So we're going to see where that white line cuts into the car on the right hand side, and then that will give you a reference point to use for all the other junctions. The other thing to bear in mind, if you stop short of the junction, we could cause problems for other people, because they may think we've broken down, we've just stopped short, they might try and overtake us. So again, it's just as dangerous to stop short as it is long. Okay, so we're going to pick those reference points up when we go. All right, that's emerging left. Emerging right is very similar. We can identify the junction in the same way coming up to it. You're going to use your mirror. Again, which mirrors would you use for emerging right? Bear in mind what you were doing when you were turning right.
Middle right.
Middle and right. And what's your right-hand mirror for?
That's the one for people overtaking me.
Brilliant. Okay, so we're going to use mirror first, and then which way would you signal coming up to this junction?
Right.
Brilliant. And then position. Now, when you were doing right-hand turns, do you remember where you positioned yourself in the road for that?
He had me going near that centre line.
Okay. And did you pick reference points for that? Or were you just comfortable?
Yeah, cut in about there.
Okay, so we're going to use that same one, and that's always one to bear in mind for turning right, to get as close to the centre line as you can, as is practical. Now, there are some times when, if there was parked cars down here, it wouldn't be practical to be right against it, because you won't leave room for people coming down. So as close as is safe and practical. So then, once your position's right, as before, cover the brake with your right foot as you come up to it, get your speed down so it gives you more time approaching the junction. And then we can have a look, and we've got exactly the same thing with closed and open junctions. Again, we'll identify those once we're going around. We'll have given you a reference point, so we come up to stationary in the same place. And now, when we emerge here, we're going to be crossing the path of cars coming from the right and into the path of cars coming from the left. So we're affecting both carriageways there. So we have to use these rules that we talked about before about walking across the road and back. The cars that we're crossing the path of, we just want to be able to walk one way, because we're going to be across and out of their way. So we don't need quite so much time. So we judge the people from the right in that way. And then the one we used on emerging left, walk across and back, that's now for the cars coming from the left. Do you remember why we need more time on that side?
Going into their path.
Because we're absolutely right. We're going into their path, so we're crossing it here into their path. We can build up speed, finish the manoeuvre before you change the gear. You can keep both hands on the wheel then, and then change gear, accelerate into the traffic, and then both your mirrors again. Once we're going. Okay. Happy with that?
I think so.
Good. Should we have a go? Right. All very well in theory. We'll do it for real now. Okay. So, if you'd like to make yourself comfortable then, please. And good. And just tell me what you can see in your mirrors, Tony.
I can see the top and bottom of the back window. I see a bit of my head, just straighten a bit of yours.
Perfect. And in your door mirrors?
I can see the door handles. I see the sky at the top and the horizon in the middle.
Okay, and this left-hand one?
Same in that one.
Same in that. Good. I think we're ready to go then. So if you'd like to just drive on when you're ready. So the other thing we didn't talk about while we were doing the briefing there is we also need to look out for pedestrians on these junctions, because they may well play a part in what we're doing. So we'll see, hopefully we'll find some junctions with pedestrians on, otherwise we'll just talk about the main thing with them is look at them, try and get eye contact with them, and look at their body language. There we go, look, there's somebody walking across now. So up ahead we can see we've got houses ahead of us, traffic going left to right, or there would be if there was cars on it. So
turning left.
Turning left at this, mirror first, and then indicate, speed down to 5 miles an hour now, and come over to the left a bit, clutch in, and just stop the car there a second. Now, just put it into first gear for me, Tony, and if you can just come forward a little more, there's nothing behind us at the moment, just come forward so that we're in about there, stop there. Now, tell me where that line intersects with the car now. Where does it meet the car?
Just under the door mirror.
Okay, that's a good reference point. It's a little bit off because we've come across to the left a bit, but that's a suitable reference point so that you're not out into the road too much. And then as we're going left, you're going to be looking to the right, first of all, to check for traffic. If you have a look there.
Just take that back a little bit.
Take that back. Why is it important that we have that positioning here? It's so that if we're too far over there, there's a car behind us. So just check into your right and left when you think it's safe, Tony. If you want to move off to the left.
Oh, well, I think it's safe.
Okay, it's safe now. You can go. And we'll do that in a bit more detail in a minute. So the reason it was important to get that stopping position there is because if we're too far over the line and turning right, if we're too far over the line, we're going to cause people to slow stop or swerve from the right, and if we're too far behind it, we could cause people to think that we're not going around the junction or using the junction properly, and they may overtake us. Okay? That's the importance of that thing. Now we'll do another one because we got rushed a little bit with the car coming. So when we find another T-junction, remember the MSPSL, so we can do it all in good order, good time. So what have we got ahead here now? So nice and T-junction here, nice and early mirror, and we're turning left. Mirror.
All right.
Which mirror is he going to use? Okay, and middle and left. So just slow down, indicate left as well for me, and come up to the junction to that reference point.
Yeah, if I can just
Yeah.
take it back a little bit. You're leaving a bit late with identification, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, get in there a bit earlier, let me know what's coming up, yeah?
Okay.
That
So
gives-
really, at the moment, I instead of saying what can you see, I'm wasting time with that. I should just be saying we've got one ahead.
Well, I'm not going to recognise an emerge until I get
Right. Okay.
education on it, am I?
Yeah. All right.
And by the time you finish asking that, we're at the emerge.
We're at the yes, exactly.
You know, so, if you tell me the emerge is coming up and then you ask me what mirrors I'm going to check,
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to check them,
No, but
especially in the early stages, but watch me, yeah?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah?
Okay. Yep. So come back up to that reference point, Tony, that we achieved before.
Well, what reference was
The reference point of the white line cutting into the door mirror that we did on the last junction.
Can you help me with that?
So yeah, if you come forward,
Yeah.
keep the car coming forward nice and gently, a little bit more, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, and about there now. So that is, where does that white line cut into your car?
I'll just put a door mirror.
That's it. So that's the reference point we want to remember for an emerge, coming up to that junction. And do you remember why that's important?
Not really, no.
Okay, if we go too far over this junction,
Yeah.
then anything coming, that car coming up from the right there now, may have to swerve around us, and we want to avoid doing that. And if we stop behind it, then people behind us may not think that we're going round the junction. They might think we've parked. They might try and overtake us.
Oh, right.
And again, that could cause us problems. Okay?
Yeah.
So, all right, so now we're here at the emerge. We want to look right for anything coming because we're going round to the left and right again. So if there was a car coming, this car that's coming out of the junction, if he comes this way, what would you do now to assess whether or not it's safe for you to go? Do you remember?
I panic.
Okay, let's not panic. There's no need to panic at all. What we're going to do is, as he's coming, we want to think, would we have time to walk across the road and back again?
Yeah.
If you'd have time to do that and back again, because we're moving into the path of the vehicle, then you can go. It's safe to go.
So providing I can walk over there
And back
and
again.
walk back again without getting hit by him.
Without causing him to slow, stop or swerve.
Oh, sorry.
Not just hitting.
Right, yeah.
Okay? So providing we can go across and back without causing him to slow, stop or swerve,
Right.
then it's safe for us to
Yeah.
go. And the same, we're going to look to the left. In this instance, it's not too much of a problem, but if there were parked vehicles here,
Yeah.
they may be coming around us. Other vehicles may be coming around that, and in which case, that would cause us a problem as we pulled out.
Oh.
Okay? So have a good look now, right, left and right. Is there anything that's going to cause you that sort of
Can't see
problem?
anything.
So we can move out, we're safe to do so. And out to the left, keep nicely into the left-hand side here as you come round. And then new road New mirror.
Oh, new mirror zone.
That's it. So you just went forward a little bit there. Try and keep that. Do you remember the reference point you said you picked up when you were doing left-hand turns with Fred for the curb on the left-hand side? Forget that. We'll come back to that in a minute.
Yeah.
So emerge ahead. Which way
Turning
again? Turning left. So which mirror is he going to use?
Middle.
And
Left.
left. You didn't look in the
middle.
left. Left. Okay. Signal's good. And now we're going to stop at that reference point. Very good. Get your gear ready for departure. And you're looking right and left. Remember how we're judging it to see whether or not you could walk across and back again? And looking left as well to make sure it's okay over to the left here.
Yeah, my memory's not that good.
Okay, so we're looking to the right. We want to see whether or not we've got time to walk across the road and back again before anything comes. Just watch those vehicles on the other side there as well, because they're going to be coming out. And looking left. Left's clear, so looking right, that's clear to go. You can go now. And keep looking left for me, Tony. Look in the direction you're going, because there could be somebody just about to walk out there that you may get in the way. So you have to look where you're
turning
going.
left.
And turning left ahead. Yeah, it's very important to look in the direction you're going, because if somebody walks out in front of you, you could run them over. So think of that reference point you're using now to keep nicely into the curb as you come around the left. That's the same as you want to do on your emerge to the left. Okay?
Not sure I get what you mean.
Okay.
Can I just stop on there?
Yes, pull up on the left here where it's safe and convenient.
Yeah, there's a couple of things you're
Missing.
assuming too much.
Right.
We picked the reference point for not encroaching or not stopping too short of the giveaway line.
Yep.
Once.
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep.
And then you expected me to remember the second time.
Right.
That's not going to happen. Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the big difference of what I haven't done last week. Yeah, I haven't emerged.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You seem to think that I was going to remember the walk across, drive across rule after just once.
Okay, it's not going to happen.
Yeah?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you didn't get me into position for the left-hand emerge,
Yep.
and you done it the right way there by mentioning coming around the corner there. How did I judge it?
Yep.
But you never found out for me. Did I know why it was important?
Right. Yes, I'm not going right through the call. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
not. He's not going to take that off you unless you find out exactly what's inside my head. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, I followed it round. Yeah, Fred had me following it round last week. Yeah,
Why?
you need to come back at me and say why. Can you remember why that was important?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if I'm too close, I'm gonna hit the curb and maybe hit a pedestrian. Or if I'm too wide, I could interfere with a car coming down the road. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah?
Yep.
Um,
And if you don't know that, then I still keep hold of that and remind
well, I
you.
may
of it.
well know it, but you're not asking me the questions to find out. Yeah?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. But if
Yeah.
even if you then say you don't know it, I carry on teaching you it. If you say give me the right reasons, I still watch it just to make sure.
Look at the difference between what I've done with the left and right hand turns and what I'm doing with the emerging.